Good evening and welcome to the Muvi TV main news. Let's have a look at the headlines. NAQEZ urges government to improve teachers' pay. Chief SIMAMBA backs Bill 7, calls for peace ahead of 2026 polls. ECZ records nearly 9 million provisional voters for 2026 elections. In sports, Nelson CHABOTA reclaims Mr. Zambia title in LUSAKA SHOWDOWN. The news in detail with Kondwelani Jose. The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAQEZ, has renewed its call for government to prioritize decent pay and improved conditions for teachers, warning that the nation risks compromising education quality if teachers continue to be undervalued. Speaking to Muvi TV, NAQEZ Executive Director Dr. Aaron Chansa said he looks forward to a time when teachers receive a dignified living wage, a 35% rural hardship allowance, decent housing, and long overdue salary scale upgrades. Dr. Chansa questioned claims that government lacks resources, urging that Zambia's mineral wealth and its ability to motivate other civil servants, such as soldiers, show that the country has the capacity to invest meaningfully in its teachers. He stressed that without motivated teachers, Zambia must forget about quality education in our lifetime.
Many years in this country, teachers have been mistreated. A lot of what is supposed to be given to them in form of allowances, such as settling in allowances, have not been given to these hardworking teachers. It's only teachers in this country that are subjected to pathetic accommodation. A lot of our teachers, especially in the rural areas, are not given decent accommodation. Some of them stay in grass-thatched houses, which I think is an embarrassment, not only to the teachers but to the entire fraternity. I look forward to a day when government will prioritize the issues of teacher motivation. I refuse to accept that Zambia is poor. This country has a lot of minerals, and because the country is rich, I don't accept that a government can fail to give decent accommodation to our teachers. Our teachers deserve a better and conducive living wage. Our teachers deserve better accommodation and also upgrades. Would also want to see harmonization of salary scales in the sector. Our teachers are very, very important. Without our teachers being motivated, it will be very, very difficult for this country to achieve quality education. And it's important that our government pays a lot of attention to the plight of teachers instead of exposing them to mistreatment and also lack of motivation.
Lusangazi District Commissioner Margaret Zulu has appealed for urgent support for families in 3 villages severely hit by a storm that destroyed homes and shops over the weekend. Ms. Zulu says the affected communities are in immediate need of shelter, bedding, food and clothing as they struggle to recover from the disaster. She confirmed that her district team, working alongside the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has already moved on site to assess the extent of the damage and coordinate relief efforts. In Chibingeni and Matanda villages, 6 houses and 3 shops collapsed, while 10 additional houses were damaged. In Matanda alone, 15 households have been affected. Chief SIMAMBA of the Siavonga people has voiced his support for the contentious Bill 7, calling on Zambians to safeguard peace and unity as the country heads toward the 2026 general elections. Speaking through his representative, Fanuel SIMAMBA, during the Bagende Luindi traditional ceremony on Sunday, the chief commended the new donor administration for its development efforts and expressed hope that it will be granted another 5 years mandate to continue its agenda.
But your government, our government, can drive this country to where you want it to be after your 10 years in office, and we know you will do it. Notably also, we are also supporting, we join other people to support the Bill 7 because of non-contentious clauses there. In conclusion, I want to join the rest of the country in condemning what happened in Chungola and pray that such a barbaric act should never happen again. As we go for general elections next year, all citizens should observe peace and tranquility, which we have enjoyed for 61 years, and to maintain our global reputation as a beacon of peace.
It should not be like that. We need to work in harmony together so that cooperative, yes.
Lunte Member of Parliament Mutotwe Kafwaya has sounded the alarm over Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 7 of 2025, warning that the path the UPND government has taken in pushing the bill will have far-reaching and painful consequences for ordinary Zambians. Addressing journalists during a media briefing, Mr. Kafwaya says the ruling party has refused to listen to concerns raised by citizens and key stakeholders, insisting instead on advancing a process he described as secretive, dangerous, and heavily rejected across the country. The former Transport and Communications Minister questioned why the Ministry of Justice has opted to privately submit the same controversial bill to the Select Committee, saying such secrecy raises serious suspicions and undermines public trust. He further argued that the bill's justification, particularly the claim that abolishing by-elections will save government resources, does not hold, adding that most recent by-elections were triggered by political actions from the ruling party itself. Mr. Kafwaya warned that if Bill 7 is allowed to pass in its current form, even innocent citizens will be affected, stressing that the UPND risks regretting its decision in the near future.
Now, as you have put it, Bill 7 is a great danger to our nation. This is why, from ordinary citizens to critical stakeholders, this bill has been resoundingly rejected. And I want to join all those members of the public. Now, as you have put it, Bill 7 is a great danger to our nation. This is why, from ordinary citizens to critical stakeholders, this bill has been resoundingly rejected. And I want to join all those members of the public, those members of our society who have rejected Bill 7 in also rejecting it. If I may, I would like to inform you that Bill 7 is back at the National Assembly of Zambia. As I speak now, a select committee is considering Bill 7. And the witness who is submitting right now is the Ministry of Justice. What you will be surprised about is that this particular submission is in camera. Ministry of Justice is making a submission in secrecy. They don't want anybody out there to hear what Ministry of Justice is submitting to the Select Committee, which is considering Bill 7. That has surprised me, and I think all those who care would be very, very surprised. Briefly, or in one line, I would like to say that the process that UPND has adopted to to want to enact Bill 7 is going to harm a lot of people in the future. People will regret because refusing to heed to advice of critical stakeholders can only take you into one direction, and that is regret. And I warn you, UPNG, you will regret. If I were you, I would recommend that this process is stopped so that there are no further consequences. But my substantive issue that I want to promote.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, says it has so far captured 8,861,918 registered voters as part of preparations for the 2026 general elections. ECZ chairperson Mwangala Zalomis told journalists during a press briefing in Lusaka that the inspection of the provisional register of voters will be conducted in February 2026 across all polling stations nationwide. Ms. Zalomis has called on all registered voters to verify their details ahead of the certification of the final register on 30th April 2026, stressing the Commission's commitment to delivering a credible and transparent electoral process. Meanwhile, Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro explained that the provisional total comprises 7,073,513 voters from the previously certified register, combined with 1,788,405 newly registered voters captured through continuous registration and the mass registration exercise. He added that Lusaka province accounts for the largest share at 16.43%, reflecting its high population concentration. Mr. Kasaro noted that the provincial register will undergo a verification and duplication process before the inspection exercise begins, paving the way for the final provisional register of voters for the 2026 elections.
I wish to inform the nation that inspection of the 2026 provisional register of voters will take place in February. Not now, not January, not December, but February 2026 at all polling stations across the country. At all polling stations across the country where people register. This important step will allow all registered voters to validate their details ahead of the certification of the final register on the 30th of April 2026. I wish all stakeholders to take note of this and to go and inform their members that the certification of the final register after February 2026 will take place on the 30th of April 2026. In conclusion, I reaffirm the Commission's commitment to delivering a credible electoral process. Let us continue working together to ensure that every voice is counted. Let me end by indicating that the Commission captured a provisional total number 1,615,922 new voters, giving a provisional overall total of 8,861,918 registered voters. Please listen, this does not include the updates. It's just the new registers, new registration for those who will be added onto the register, because the others, the updates are already on the register. All we are doing is just maybe the relocation, maybe they lost their card or something happened, but they're already on the register.
For August 2025.
Democratic Union President Akim Anthony Njovu has criticized the UPND government for branding the Constitution Development Fund (CDF) as a game changer, arguing that building a 1-by-3 classroom block cannot be presented as meaningful development. Featuring on Chongwe FM, Mr. Njovu questioned whether the increased CDF is even translating into real progress, noting that some contractors have still not been paid for projects undertaken under the fund. He says true development should visibly transform communities, citing road and infrastructure projects implemented during the Patriotic Front administration as examples of tangible change. Mr. Njovu further echoed concerns raised by the Minister of Finance that many individuals risk being arrested over CDF-related offences, pointing to widespread mismanagement. His remarks, come in the wake of a Transparency International report which exposed major flaws in the management of CDF in 2023, revealing that less than 42% of allocated funds were utilized, while over half remained unspent. The audit also uncovered unauthorized project alterations, unaccounted for funds, and unrecovered loans, issues that have prompted renewed calls from opposition parties and civil society for stronger accountability and reforms in the administration of CDF.
It from 36 million to 40 million. But does the government have the resources to fulfill that? It's no. We've heard those who are courageous say, government, when are you sending us the money so that we finish our projects? So that's a struggle that is there. I've spoken to a few people in Chirundu, in Siavonga, who haven't been paid for the projects that they undertook under CDF because they don't have money. The councils have not received money. So all these are realities that we need to come out with. When we speak to the UPND, we've always told them, if you want to work well with the Zambian people, tell them the truth. If you made promises, apologize and engage them. They will understand that time, please, we are playing politics. But this time we've realized that certain things are hard that we promised you. Engage the people and resolve things amicably. Find a better way of resolving them. I pointed out that issue which happened in Chiwempala where the president was stoned, it is not a politically motivated incident, no. It was a community matter that hasn't been resolved timely and conclusively. When the party in power, UPND, were campaigning, they promised the youths of Chingola, specifically Sensere, that they will give them back the mine when they are voted in power. 4 years down the line, they haven't given them back. And the mismanagement around that same process of giving them back also angered them.
Four-time Mr. Zambia champion Nelson CHABOTA has once again risen to the top, reclaiming the coveted 2025 Mr. Zambia crown in a tightly contested event held in the early hours of Sunday in Lusaka. CHABOTA outshined a seasoned bodybuilding icon and 12-time title holder Sylvester Mwila, who settled for third place, reaffirming his dominance on the national stage. Speaking to Muvi TV News, CHABOTA says his focus now shifts to flying the Zambian flag high on international bodybuilding platforms, thanking the large crowd of supporters who turned up in his favor. In the men's fitness category, Shadrach Piri emerged victorious, while in the women's wellness division, Rose Mwape walked away with a title and a 7,000 kwacha prize.
You know, just have to put in the best and come just changing, becoming the best version of yourself. That's what exactly I did. Just by improving myself more than I came last year. Yeah.
So that your government, our government, can drive this country to where you want it to be after your 10 years in office. And we know you will do it.
Apologies for that picture that played. However, we conclude the news with Mufulira Wanderers, who have stormed into the top 7 of the MTN Super League after edging Green Buffaloes 1-0 in a tense Week 14 encounter at Shinde Stadium on Saturday afternoon. With both sides entering the match level on 19 points and separated only by goal difference, it was Wanderers who rose to the occasion, delivering a spirited performance that kept home supporters on their feet.
Slamek, another home win, 2 consecutive home wins, and this is the last game of the season 2025. How was the game for you?
Yeah, the game was okay. Great game from the team, and I think everyone was there, and they knew what they were playing for. Yeah.
Great. We saw a tactical change in the second half, bringing on 2 strikers, and it seemed to have paid off for you. What was the message to the boys there?
Yeah, I think we saw how we played in the first half. So many chances that we created, but we couldn't convert. And coming into the second half, I think we needed to reinforce. So the reinforcement again brought at least some pressure, and we got a goal.
Talking about reinforcements, a goal came from a defender today, but congratulations to all the strikers that played today. They did a very, very good job. Are we going to see people coming through, or more players coming through, as we go into the closure of the season and then transfer window in January?
I think for now, I wouldn't say much about that, but all I can say is for the strikers, I think they are developing that hunger for goals, and which is encouraging. So we just need to keep on pushing them so that they grow into the game. Because most of them, as you have seen, it was lack of composure. They could have scored a lot of goals in the first half. So the composure aspect, I think, is something that we need to work on as well.
A reminder of the headlines. NAQEZ urges government to improve teachers' pay. Chief SIMAMBA backs Bill 7, calls for peace ahead of 2026 pause. ECZ records nearly 9 million provisional voters for 2026 elections. And in sports, Nelson CHABOTA reclaims Mr. Zambia title in LUSAKA SHOWDOWN. On behalf of the news team, my name is Kondwelani Jose. Stay blessed.